talk about the history of fanzines, focusing on the Manchester that we were working in as participants in the sort of post-punk period, and had a direct influence on alternative magazines in Manchester. In fact, you know, all that stuff I've just been talking about, Claude Coburn, I heard about the first time from Mike Don, who was the editor of a Manchester underground paper in the 70s called Mole Express. But I think also the word fanzine came to take over especially during the 80s. It took over the role of the whole alternative press.
And I bought this aged about 11.
They kept going right the way from about 1970 up until 78, I think. So this is a slightly different thing that Paul published in 76. He's trying to be a serious music writer at this point, and he's writing stuff about Dylan. Sorry, but I mean, what made you do Shy Talk? C.P. Lee's here, and he used to he'd be a significant member of that group, and were you responsible for that, Chris? Did you actually make that?
I have to talk to my lawyers. Yes.
In Manchester, punk fanzines is over by the end of 77. By 78...
And also, importantly, Circus is shut, and
yes.
it kind of things relocate a bit to Hume. So I think it really relocated the Manchester scene geographically. It shifted from the Circus and that area down into Hume. That clearly makes no sense whatsoever.
I asked him once, I remember we were sitting in the office, and we were talking about what's the best gig you've ever seen.
So at some point, they start promoting gigs. They have this gig called Stuff the Superstars. The Happy Mondays never happened. Like 300 quid to him is the cost of some fancy meal out, isn't it? But
was this thing about you never have one editor. How many would one issue sell, do you think?
I think it was about 1,600.
Yeah. This period of City Fun kind of went on through sort of 1982.
I felt like a kind of clog-wearing kind of worker at the industrial mill.
Moving towards Manchester, and people we knew published that. Free sheet.
This was handed out when the Hacienda I think it was handed out on the opening night.
A piss take of Tintin. It's a Mark Bolan fanzine. And the Decadent were trying to bring down the economy.
It's this huge monumental history.
You had to put a bit of work, a bit of effort into understanding what the poster said, Mark. And it was I think it's sometimes kind of the same with fanzines.